Hi friends, how are you? Welcome to this week's Ask Me Anything. This is the time of the week where I get to come on and answer questions that you have asked. You will also likely hear my daughter who's enjoying her lunch in the background. This is how we party. This is how we what I heard this morning, don't I was gonna say something funny and then I forgot the joke, which is probably why I shouldn't be saying jokes. Anyway, we're gonna start, and the reason why I like to do this is I find out new things about people to connect with here on social media. We're gonna start with question of the day. Question of the day is, what is your favorite snack? If you ask Luna, who's eating her lunch right now, it's gonna be looking like spinach bites, avocado, and mashed cauliflower. I mean, if this is not a California baby, I don't know what is. Let's dive into questions. I will be answering them live, so leave your live questions here. This first question is focusing on creating priorities. Thank you, Jasmine. Reading planning, you once mentioned that you divide your plans into two, urgent and important. Which was the one you said you prioritized? From Tia. Okay, so I prioritize important. What happened was I was getting so caught up in the urgent that I was losing time for the important. But at the end of the day, even if something felt urgent, the more that I realized that there was a time to deal with that and it wasn't right now, that's a lot of the times, like, my urgent issue resolved itself. And oftentimes we live in a time in society where people expect an immediate response. And so I want to push that away and let people know that I have parameters. I have designated times that I do my work as well as check in. But when it comes to actually creating what is going to be the most important, step one is going to be to brainstorm. Brainstorm everything that must get done on that day. Are there days that people are expecting a response from me that I don't give it? Maybe, because it feels urgent, but I know that if I don't prioritize the important, I'm not going to be moving the business as I should and where I should. Step number two is to determine dependencies. This means that the order in which I do the important, if anybody is depending on me for my work, that has to go to the top. So let's talk about a dependency. So for instance, at Social Curator, I work with the content team to develop a monthly marketing action plan. Well, today I had a project, I had a task, and it said to break down what we are going to do for the June marketing action plan. But because the content team was waiting on my response for what we're going to do, they would not be able to do their subsequent tasks if I didn't do my task first. So I prioritize what is important, is who is depending on those tasks, because there could be times if I want to catch up on work, I could work early in the morning or I could work late at night if I wanted to. But there are other tasks, if people are dependent on me, I can't be working on that task at 9 o'clock at night because they were waiting for it all day. So that's when it comes to figuring out what the important action is, figuring out the dependencies. And let's get into my last and favorite one, which is step three, messy, scrappy action. Y'all know, as a reminder, that action leads to clarity. Speaking of clarity, the pitch at which my daughter screams is very clear. But here's the thing, taking action is going to guide you to what you should be doing next. If you're anything like me, you have a to-do list that feels like a CVS receipt. Have you ever shopped at CVS? I know that on the East Coast you have Dwayne Reed. Out here we have something called CVS. And I don't know, when I shop at CVS, I will buy a pack of gum and a water bottle, and I will get a receipt that is probably 12 feet long. And I look at this CVS receipt and I'm like, oh, this looks like my to-do list today. I don't know about you, but oftentimes it's so easy to look at this long list and feel like I'm never gonna get it done. Well, instead of you worrying about not getting it done, how about you just start working? And the thing that I realized is when I got to taking action, I found a cadence and I was able to move faster than I had anticipated. All right, a couple of the live questions. Marihita, excuse me, I totally botched your name. I have a question about Instagram. How do I post a link into my story? Do I have to have a specific number of followers to have that option? Yes, you need to have 10,000 followers to get the swipe up feature on Instagram. Okay, let's dive into one of our other questions. This is called balancing multiple accounts. This question is how to handle two Instagram accounts, one specific to my business and the other as me as a professional. How much content can I reuse, not post on the same time, and twist a bit with the photo and caption? My mind is going crazy over this and I can't find my way here. I'm not using my own as private, just follow the categories from Social Curator. My question to you and anybody else who's watching is, do you need two accounts? Now, I understand that the way that this question was framed is that there's two accounts, one for a business and then one to position this person as a professional, which is awesome. But in my mind, it seems like you're serving the same customer. When people ask, Jasmine, should I have more than one account? My answer comes in the form of a question. Well, does both of your accounts serve the same customer? If both of the accounts serve the same customer, then I just don't know if you need two accounts. Like if you have an account that's talking about how to build a personal brand and hair care products, well, chances are you're gonna have two different customers. You should keep those accounts different, which then empower you to come up with content specifically for people who are about hair care and people who wanna know how to build a personal brand. But this particular question, it shows that there's a crossover. I'm trying to build myself as an authority, as a professional, and then I'm also trying to build my business. But it sounds to me that both of your customers could be served. So instead of trying to work harder at coming up with content, the question you have to ask yourself is, do they share content categories, right? Like if what you're talking about on your business is very similar to what you'd be talking about on your professional account, well, then why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? What would it look like for us to say, can I start testing content that positions me as a professional in light of my business? Because we want to work smarter, not harder. Why are we going to see like, oh, I'm basically posting the same type of content, but twisting it a little. But if both of the content can exist on both of the accounts, then friend, I want you to double down on that. Let's dive into a couple of the other live questions that are being asked. Miranda, serious question. How do you sell a physical product when you feel so unlikable? Well, Miranda, I have to tell you, wow, that question kind of caught me off guard. And my first reaction, Miranda, is that I want you to hear me clearly. Okay, I'm just going to say what comes to my mind real quick before I get into the answer. Is Miranda and anybody else who thinks that you are unlikable and have the inability to sell something online, I have to tell you and just stop you in your tracks that you are enough. Please do not believe the lies that society or maybe yourself are telling yourself about your abilities, about your mental capacity, about your intellect, about your physical appearance. I want you to stop with that toxic lie. Because if you are telling yourself that you are unlikable, that the only person who's going to bring that into reality is you. And I have to tell you, Miranda, that I am unlikable. You, Miranda, might like me because you're here. And other people might like me because they're here. But there are hundreds of thousands of people who look at this video and instantaneously do not like me. But I also have to separate somebody's not liking of me or unliking of me and realize that it is not a direct reflection on me. It is a direct reflection on their personal preference. My goal is not to be liked by everybody. My goal is to be liked by a small group of people who empower me to stand in my purpose, to empower them to find a way and a path to profitability. I know there are people who do not like me, and to them I say goodbye. To them I say unfollow or unsubscribe. To them I say I will not give you the power to stop me do what I am here to do, because Miranda, the only person who gives away your power is you. Him or her cannot make you feel a certain way. You make yourself feel a certain way, and then you bring that into reality. So Miranda, I'm going to invite you to think different thoughts. And if you say, Jasmine, it's impossible, I can't think anything but the fact that I am unlikable, therefore I can't sell. Well then, Miranda, I want you to hear me clearly and say, I am unlikable and yet I sell. Why? Because I work hard to find people who will like me. Will everybody like me? No. Will some people unlike me to the 10th degree? Yes. Will some people really like me and trust me and then buy from me? Yes. I focus on these people. That's it. Ooh, girl. got me chills down my right arm. Miranda and anybody else who says you're unlikable, that is toxic. Choose to find the people who will like you. Let's get into our next question. Taking photos of yourself. This is from Sarah. I need to take photos of me and my products, clothes, and I really don't want to be in front of the camera. However, I don't have a model. I've taken pictures of the clothes on a mannequin and that goes so far. Any tips on setting up the photos, planning how to do it, how you look so good on camera, etc.? Anything at all. Looking forward to your answer. Thank you so much. So the first piece of advice, y'all, is be strategic and plan ahead when it comes to taking your own photos. Now, I have to just take a second and I'm going to applaud Sarah because by doing the work, she realized that sure, she can post clothes on a mannequin, but like a mannequin doesn't even have real human dimensions. Do you know that a mannequin, like if the mannequin were to walk out in public, it would fall over because human dimensions don't exist in a mannequin. So oftentimes we see clothes on mannequin and then we wonder, why doesn't that look like us? Because it's not even built like a stinking human, right? So Sarah, I am happy that you are wearing the clothes you want to sell. Because regardless if somebody has your body shape or not, they can look at your body shape and assess what is similar and what is different. There are sites, like if you ever shop on Nordstrom.com, if you leave a review, you can upload a photo of yourself and the thing that you bought. I find that to be so powerful because even if people who bought the clothing do not have my physique, I'm looking at it and being like, oh, I could see where it's similar or different and I think it would look great or not look so great. So Sarah, great job. Now what I want to do is get into a little bit of the specifics about when it comes to selling any product. In your case, it's going to be clothing. Now, first things first, as a professional photographer, I'm going to break down the basics of finding good light. There are 3 types of light: natural light, mixed light, and artificial light. So natural light, that is what I am sitting in right now. I have a window to this side of me and a window in front of me. That's called natural light. I prefer, and I have noticed that when I take photos in natural light, they perform better on social because people look at it and their eyes contextualize to seeing way that it does in real life. Now, artificial light, this is you using flash on your camera or you using a ring light. That's artificial. Then you have mixed light. So mixed light would be for you to use flash and or ring light outdoors. So you're using natural light and artificial light. So anything that is given to you by the sun, that's natural light. Artificial light is anything but the sun. So I would suggest finding natural light. And then what you're going to want to do is, when I talk about creating a plan and being strategic, is lay out all of your outfits. And if you aren't selling clothes, lay out all of the product that you need. And then what happens is we spend a lot of time going through what photo should I be taking next? Well, if you lay all of your products out and you have a clear plan, then your only objective is to work that self-timer. So when we talk about working that self-timer, what we really want to do is understand that since we're not working with a professional photographer, although Sarah, if you are, bless, I will use a self-timer on my DSLR, my professional camera. I will also use a self-timer on my iPhone. I have noticed that if I am creating an Instagram live or if I'm creating an Instagram reel, a photo from my iPhone performs better as the cover photo than it does with my DSLR camera. So let me walk you through to make sure we're on the same page. Just this morning, I went live on Instagram. Now, before I went live on Instagram, I took this self photo. Now, I've cropped it to 16:9 because that is what is needed for Instagram. Like when you're going through your feed, when you go to my IGTV or when you go to live, you're gonna see that photo. And I purposely set the timer for 3 seconds. And it went 3, 2, 1. And I stuck my hand out. Why? I wanna catch somebody's attention. That was done on an iPhone. I'm gonna also show you that what I will do when I record reels, I took this photo and a self-timer with natural light and I was pointing. Now in this like negative space, that's where I'm gonna put the text for the reel. And very similar, here's another photo that I had for a reel where I'm pointing down and I'm going to add the text for the reel at that point. So when it comes to a self timer, you want to be, number one, have a plan and be strategic. And then number two, I prefer natural light, but if you don't have that, no problem. You could set up a ring light. And then number three is to set your self timer. The farther you are from your camera, the more time you'll need. I have an iPhone, and the iPhone default settings would be 3 seconds or 10 seconds for a self timer. If I'm standing close, if the shot that I want is waist up, I pick 3 seconds, because I'll press 3 seconds, I back up from the camera, 1, 2, and then I have a second for the pose. Now, if I want a full body picture, I'm gonna change the self timer to 10 seconds. I will press the 10 seconds, I will walk back, 2, 3, 4, I will adjust my body, and then I'll take the picture then. So the 10 seconds gives me a little bit more time to watch my reflection in the camera, make sure that the entire outfit is going to be photographed, and then move from there. All right. Let's dive into a lot of the live questions that are coming in. If you have a live question, pop it here. Let's get into Jessica. What are your thoughts on funnels? Well, Jessica, my thoughts on funnels are that they work. So if people who are unfamiliar, when we talk about marketing, there is a strategy for funnels. Now, I want you to think about a strategy for funnels as an upside down pyramid, right? So the largest part of the triangle is going to be at the top, and the smallest part of the triangle, the tip, is going to be at the bottom. Well, what people do, they subscribe to this ideology of a marketing funnel, whereas the top of the funnel is going to be free content, a free chat on Instagram, a live, a blog post, a video, a podcast, anything that's free that's going to get attention and interest from your dream customer. That's at the top. And then what you're going to do is, once you have your attention, you're going to want to say, go deeper with my content. And the way that somebody goes deeper with their content is to subscribe to your email list. Now, if you have been around the block with me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, you will know that I have a litany of ways for people to go deeper with my content based on their objectives. So if people are interested in Clubhouse, it's jasminestar.com/Clubhouse 101. If people want more branding information, well, that's jasminestar.com/branding. If people want to find their dream customer, their ideal client, it's jasminestar.com/ideal client. Y'all, I can go on for days. Probably have a library worth of 24 resources that people can download for free. Why? Because I believe that you are worth it. And that's just it. Like when somebody says, hey, Jasmine, how do I build a brand? Right here on this video, I'm not going to give you like, oh, well, let's just spend the next 34 minutes on how to build a brand. I don't have that time and you don't have that time. However, if you download the guide, you then get to watch a video, you get to go through content, you have a worksheet. That is called middle of the funnel. So remember, at the top of the pyramid is free content. You invite somebody to go deeper with you. That means they have to give you their email address so that you can send them a free resource. That's middle of the funnel. And then what happens in that big chunk of the middle of the funnel is that you're going to continue to conversate with them by way of email. You're going to be adding value. You're going to be building trust. And then over time, at the very apex, at the very tip of that pyramid, that's when you're going to convert them from a follower into a customer. Now, if you're asking me straight out, do I believe funnels work? My answer, yes or no, would be yes. ... Now, here's where the ellipse comes in, is that a lot of digital marketers have taken this content and they just kind of ruin it. Okay, have you ever signed up for a free resource, right? Like you signed up for a free resource and then the next day, I have this membership, I have this course, I have this product you can sell. And then all of a sudden the next 15 emails are just buy. Like that is the worst thing you could do. We know that funnels actually convert. But if your funnel isn't converting, there's a good chance that you went in for the sale way too early. So our ideology on the Inside of Social Curator is if you download a free resource from us, you are not getting hit with a hard right hook. That's just it. You're not going to be asked for this sale. We want to give and build trust, and then continue giving you free resources because trust is the currency on the web. Trust is the only thing that will lead to a conversion. If I ever wanted you to buy something from Social Curator, AKA my business, the only way you're gonna do it is not because I'm fun or cute or brilliant. Heck no, that means nothing to you. What do you care about? Am I sharing content that moves the needle in your business? If the answer is no, you're not going to buy. How do I guarantee that what I share and what I give you moves the needle? Well, if I give you a lot of content and over time you're like, wow, this chick kind of knows her stuff, I might want to go deeper with her. And might is the key word. I will continue showing up. I will continue creating content until somebody is ready to convert. But I do not believe that you should be doing a hard right hook sales in a funnel. At least early in the beginning. At least, just my honest opinion. Okay, let's get into Shanae Horton. What podcast are you currently listening to, or a book? Oh, okay, so I am listening to Masters of Scale. Love it. Reid Hoffman is the host. I listen to This American Life, Ira Glass. I listen to Reply All, like obsessed. I listen to Science Versus. That's a science podcast. I don't know why I love it. I just absolutely love it. I listen to my own podcast, Jasmine Star Show. Hey, come on. You know I couldn't get in there without a shameless plug. Those are kind of like my go-tos. And then obviously Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, let's just have a moment for Gary Vaynerchuk. My husband makes fun of me. Like, I am the president of the Gary Vaynerchuk fan club. I know you might think you are, but no, honey. I have like t-shirts. I already, like, it's like Vaynerchuk University. Like, proud graduate. I'm an alumni. I'm on the honor roll at Vayner University. Like, I freaking am obsessed. Yes. Anyway, okay. Melissa Carter. Would love to know your thoughts on a live open cart for a course or an evergreen option with the cart that's always open. Melissa, listen, you're going to hear this 12 different ways and then 13th on Sunday. It is so important for you to test it. Some people have massive success with an evergreen open cart, and some people have massive success with a closed cart. And then some people will say this is the only way you do it. And I disagree. I do not believe there is one way. I do believe there is the right way for you, your business, and your customer. I believe that. But the only way you know, Melissa, is when you take the time to test and try it. That's just it. And a lot of times it's the testing and trying that feels strenuous. It's the testing and trying that feels like we don't know which way is up. It's the testing and trying that leaves us feeling empty or uncertain. But I have to tell you, the quicker you test and try, the quicker you can make a decision. And guess what? You're not stuck to it. If you decide to test and try, and you test them both and you're like, oh no, I need to have evergreen. And then 7 months later, you decide that evergreen's not working for you. Guess what? Stop the evergreen, pause, and then do a cart opening, close, launch a few months later. Nothing is set in stone. That is the beauty and the horror of having your own business, is we get to write the rule book and we get to do how we do however we want to do. So friends, every single week I have the opportunity to come on live. I have this unique ability to connect with people in real time. I have this treasured opportunity to take your business questions and contextualize them so that we can scale education. I made a commitment to come on and teach every single week. I'll make a video on Instagram. I'll make a video on Facebook. I'll make a video on YouTube. Hey, I make blog posts. I go live in Clubhouse. I create content. Why? Because I believe that when I share what I know, we all grow collectively. I am able to grow because your questions empower me to think through my strategy. And I hope, it is my prayer, that what I share with you has been contextualized for your business so that collectively, what I have learned from you, I can go back and teach you everything that I know as a result of that. I want to say thank you. It is a gift, it is a privilege, and it is an honor to consistently show up and have conversations with y'all. I believe that my purpose, when we talk about the why of what it is that we do, my purpose has been and will forever be to empower people to believe that the impossible is possible for them. I was the girl who dreamt of creating a top 1% luxury photography business, and I didn't even own a camera. And guess what I did? I built a top 1% luxury photography business in less than a few years. The very first year of my business, I made over $100,000. Not bad for a girl from the hood who barely got a camera and wasn't very good. Oftentimes, a lot of our worries as business owners is that we won't look a certain way, that our content, our work, our photos, our videos are going to look terrible. And as a result of us trying to learn our way publicly, as a result of us trying to build our business without having all the answers, is that people will look at us and then have an opinion, and their opinions shackle us. Their opinions are what we worry they're going to say about us, keep us held back. We are so concerned about their words that we put a basket over ourselves and say, I refuse to shine because I don't want to be noticed. And I am here to tell you that if you are not getting noticed, your business will go nowhere. So you have to make a decision to live under a basket or to let your light shine. I really hope that you choose to shine. I genuinely, really hope that you take what other people say and or think and their lack of support, and I hope that you put that under the basket so that you don't look at it and you don't focus on it. I hope that you bring up the light of awkwardness, the light of insecurity, the light of not having the right answer, the light of the unknowing, and saying, I am outside showcasing my journey because one day I will look back and say, wow, I might not be where I want to be, but I am so happy for how far I've come. Friends, I stand up every week and I say this again and again for the few people who need to hear this. Number one, you are enough. Number two, somebody else's opinions doesn't pay your bills. Number 3, put those toxic, negative thoughts of yourself or others under a basket. And then number 4, shine your light because it is a light that only you possess and the world needs to be illuminated with your brilliance. I have nothing but love and gratitude. Go out and slay your day. Bye, friends.